Greetings, folks! We are back with another pandemically erotic episode of a Crept from the 80s. We are in the year of 2021.
Mm-hmm. We did it.
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
Yay!
If anything, it might have gotten worse.
Yes, it's almost confirmed that it's gotten worse.
But you know what? We're not going to talk about that. We're going to try to talk about some fun things, some memories, some things you might enjoy.
Maybe.
Certainly things we've enjoyed.
Yeah, definitely. Confirmed on that.
But joining me once again is old chum.
Hello.
Jason McCall.
I'm old and a chum.
He is back.
Hello. My front as well.
To talk about something that I knew it was this guy that I wanted to talk about the subject with. We share a lot of the same sensual proclivities.
Yes.
And
our tastes are very similar when it comes to our crushes and our admiration for the ladies.
Beautiful women.
Yes.
And this being a 80s-centric show, we're going to talk about some of our crushes from the 80s.
There's
some of the ladies
of the 80s.
That's right.
Sounds good.
Who really, bubbled our children and got us, it turned us into real men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can smell the Aquanet already.
The sexual awakening was happening.
Yes, the boiling of the loins, the beginning of the boiling of the loins.
Yes.
What spurred those? What made your balls bubble?
That's right. Churning those children.
This is a long time coming, I think, because we've connected on a bunch of different ladies from the 80s that we're crazy about. Chris even made me aware of several ladies of the 80s that I didn't realize were as sexy as they, like Linda Blair. Like, what, dude? Linda Blair. Like I was like, he had a poster of Linda Blair up. I was like,
Savage Streets.
I was like, man, is that all her? Because she's wearing this leather thing and it's cut down to here and she's just all boobage. And I'm like, that's not her. And he's like, bruh, you didn't know? She posed in Penthouse, man. I'm like, no, she didn't. She did not. So he woke me up to several other women that I heretofore did not know were freaking savage ladies of the 80s, man. I had no clue.
Yeah,
I had no clue.
Real special.
Not
so much today, but
no, but in their heyday, of course.
There was something else.
There were some of them that were spectacular, absolutely spectacular.
Linda was plump and juicy.
Oh yeah, I had no clue she had a whole stint with the erotic thing. Like I was completely
definitely she was the queen of exploitation films for a while.
No clue.
Back to back to back to back. It was,
no clue.
Yeah.
So that was news to me. It was good news. I enjoyed the news. It was fantastic news. Yeah. I was very happy to find, and thank goodness for Google and the internet and finding these things. Like there's a lot more people. There are a lot more women that posed for different magazines and did pictorials and stuff like that than I thought had. I was like, it would have been cool if blah blah posted. If blah not posted, I'm saying posted like it's current. But if she did a picture spread in Playboy or something, and she did. Half of the women that I was crazy about in the 80s did do Playboy or Penthouse or whatever. Like, so it's surprising, and there's a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, we grew up at the same time. You are 1 year older.
Yep.
I would assume our love for the women probably started around the same time. I don't know. So what was your, I have a particular story.
Okay.
But what
made me go, hey.
When did you start to realize that, ladies weren't gross? That seems to be like a cliche.
No. It's
You know?
it's. I don't think I ever thought that girls were gross.
See, I don't either.
I was never on that whole cooties thing.
I don't know if that's
I
like
don't
a
like girls. I didn't
TV
get
or
them.
movie thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a trope. I didn't get them. Because I was a stupid kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't understand women, of course.
Yeah.
I was a child, but I was never against girls or hanging out with girls or whatever. It was just really weird. I never thought they were icky or any bullshit like that. So I think that, man, that's a hard one. When did it first really hit me? It's funny because the majority of my first crushes were cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my first major cartoon crush had to be, I want to say Lady J from G.I. Joe. Or it's a toss-up between her and like Tila from He-Man. There was this thing in He-Man where they would get into these big fights, right? And somebody would get knocked down. And they would be laying, like, she would be sort of like on the ground with her legs to the side, and their head would be on her thighs. Like, they always landed like that somehow. It's like, oh, magically my head is on Tila's thick thighs. And I was like, why do they always land like that? I was like, on her thighs. Her pillowy, strong,
She did.
round, shapely thighs and hips.
Draw her with.
Why is it
big old rock solid, beautiful thighs?
Yes. Like her miles, her legs were 8 miles long, and her thighs were just to die for. Her thighs and hips were just to die for. And they did the same thing with the action figures. The action figures were thick. They were thick. Like, her and Evil Lynn, they had hips and thighs all day. Like, it was just nuts. So I think that's what got me, and that's kind of what got me. It started me early on my thigh and booty addiction. Was Tila and Evil Lynn, man, and Lady J and Scarlet from G.I. Joe, I think, spawned some stuff as well. And of course, Chitara from Thundercats, she had me twisted. She had me all messed up. So it was at that point that I think I started noticing girls in a different way, and sort of started getting crushes on ladies that on shows that I would watch or my parents would watch. You had your favorites from all of those. So that's when that started happening. With Daisy Duke and the original Dukes of Hazzard. She was another one of the first, the lady who played Daisy Duke. I was crazy about her. So there was a bunch of soap opera women that I was crazy about, on General Hospital and Ryan's Hope and all those other old soap operas. Just morning and daytime TV. There was a buffet. Once I started noticing, I was like, why didn't I notice this before? This is crazy. So I think that's probably what first got me was cartoons. Cartoons got me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I have been told this story by the women in my family.
Okay.
Since I was little. So apparently, at a very young age, I gravitated towards large boobs.
Okay.
I definitely had
understandable.
A proclivity for for chest jowls.
Right.
And so I guess there was this one time that they have told me over and over again. I was 4 years old, and we were walking down the street, and there was a woman coming towards us, and apparently she was busty and bouncing all over the place.
Right.
And I said out loud, I was like, "Whoa, look at the size of those boobies!" and I was 4, and I guess it made the family
man.
laugh, and it made the woman laugh because she heard it,
right?
And they also made me a birthday cake that had a woman with boobies.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was like, a little later than that, but
right.
So they knew that I was this kid who loved the boobies. Sure.
How wholesome that they nurtured it.
I know.
That's so nice of them.
I know. So I've always sort of, I've definitely been drawn to large chests, but I also was, I was kind of into funny ladies, funny women.
Sure.
Growing up, I certainly had I had a few degrees of crushes. I did have crushes on girls on TV shows that were my age.
Sure.
At the time.
Of course.
Then I had crushes on girls that were teenage women.
Right.
And then I had crushes on the older ladies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What are you kidding me? Especially on shows like Dynasty, I had a thing for who was the dark-haired one? She played Alexis. She posed in Playboy a couple of times.
I don't know. Which one?
She was on Dynasty.
Dynasty.
It wasn't Falcon Crest.
It was
Dynasty. One. I know they're hard to tell apart.
Who has the...
she was the older dark-haired chick.
Okay, but not the British one. Right? Or was she British?
She was the British one.
Oh, she was the British one. Okay, yeah. What the hell is her name?
I'm looking it up right now. No, not the new one. Ew, there's a new one? Ew, Chris, they made a new one.
Yeah, they did.
That's gross.
It was like on CW or something.
Ew, that's not cool. Joan Collins.
Joan Collins, okay, yeah.
Dude, everybody was all about Linda Evans, but I was all about Joan Collins. There was just something about her.
I definitely prefer brunettes to blondes, and not you will hear that they're certainly on my list. I like blondes, but
yeah, sure.
I prefer brunettes.
Yeah,
I always have.
Same.
So yeah, but I didn't.
Short, curvy brunettes.
I didn't have a Joan Collins thing for sure. The Dynasty stuff, I felt like even at that young age, I was like, oh, these are old women.
I was bougie like that though, because I liked a bunch of the old women. There were TV show moms that I liked.
Oh, I liked that.
I was like, man, she could take care of me.
I think because my grandparents watched shows like that.
Okay.
I
wasn't watching.
I likened the ladies on those shows.
Sure.
To old people like these shows.
Don't get me wrong. I wasn't watching Murder She Wrote and being like, yo, hey, what's up? How can I be down? I'd help her solve some mysteries. It didn't quite go that far, but some Joan Collins, yeah. The lady who played Diana in V.
Oh my God!
Oh man.
Jane Badler.
Oh my God.
She was super sexy. Super sexy.
Come on, she was ridiculous, dude. I thought that she was just the sexiest woman that ever walked the face of the planet. Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields is another one. I was crazy about her. I saw Blue Lagoon and I was ruined. It might as well have been pornography for me when I was a kid watching Blue Lagoon. What, dude? What, are you kidding me? Brooke Shields was my dream girl for a minute.
So we also had that luxury of not only were we seeing all the 80s stuff, but we were seeing reruns from 60s and 70s television shows.
Yeah, definitely.
And so on my list, one of the earliest women, a couple of them that I can remember being stars in my eyes was Linda Carter.
Oh God!
From
Yeah,
Wonder
of course.
Woman.
Yeah, Linda Carter was spectacular.
I mean,
she was amazing.
Everything about
yeah, literally everything about her was fantastic.
Was like wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was a ridiculous show. It was ridiculous. Like I watched it because superheroes, but at the same time, Linda Carter. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it's funny like thinking. They recently put Wonder Woman on HBO Max, so you can watch the entire series.
Oh wow! Okay.
So I've been rewatching it, and I must have been going out of my mind when I was a kid because the amount of like scantily clad women that is just on Wonder Woman is insane. Like, there's a lot of just. Like 70s women, and just flipping and flopping all over the place.
Okay.
Like I was like my little mind must have been like.
I guess I didn't realize. I had my eye on the prize.
I mean, she was the best.
So like it was. I don't even remember it being that much of a skin show. Because Linda Carter was like, I was like, yo.
Yeah, she. I mean, holy
she just
crap.
blew me away, man.
She is one of those ones that like later, I realized that she did the magazines, and I was like, oh my god, naked Linda Carter. This is
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this either, dude.
Yeah, she did.
Come on.
And her curves just kept getting.
Yeah,
curvier and curvier.
She's still gorgeous.
Yeah, she definitely is still.
Like she's still absolutely gorgeous.
Hot to trot. So that was one of them for sure, and then I loved watching Three's Company.
Okay.
And Suzanne Summers, like, holy shit, like that woman.
Dude, are you ready for some crazy shit? Like, for me, it was who played Janet?
Joyce DeWitt.
Yeah,
you like Janet?
Joyce DeWitt did it for me, man. There was something about her, and when she did, because every now and then they would give her an opportunity. I don't know, you call it an opportunity, but they would allow her to sort of explore her sexy side and let her play off on being, sexy and kind of a temptress.
Yeah.
And when they did, it floored me. Like, I thought that she was just fantastic. I get why people would like Chrissy, but man, for me it was Janet. She always, there was just something about her. But I was all about the short power cut, the short power haircut, and like the big huge belts and the shoulder pads. Like, I was all about that look. Oh my god. Forget about it. Like, I loved that. That's still a thing. That's still, to this day, like, if a girl has, like, a short haircut, like a pixie cut, and she's presenting, like, sort of like that power suit type of aesthetic that women were doing back then, I'm a sucker for that, dude.
Yeah.
I am an absolute, put a short-haired woman in... Like one of those really angular power business suits from the 80s. And just forget about it, dude. Forget about it, man.
I thought Janet was pretty, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the first season, I thought she was way prettier than how she got later.
They ugged her up because she wasn't supposed to be the sexy one. She wasn't supposed to be the hot one. Chrissy was supposed to be the hot one.
So totally, Suzanne Summers appealed big time to me.
Right.
It was her boobs bouncing all over the place, no bra, whatever.
Bras didn't exist
She just
back
didn't
then.
give a shit.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening.
Right.
The comedy that they gave her,
right.
The snorting, all that stuff.
Right.
Like, I was totally enamored with her character, for sure. So that was another one of those, from the 70s, but holding over going in through the 80s and stuff like that. And
yeah, I can dig that.
That she really Suzanne Summers. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I had a thing for Soleil Moon Frye.
Oh,
Punky.
yeah.
Punky. And that really didn't go away ever.
Okay.
That was because we are the same age.
Yes.
She's our age.
She's our age, yeah.
So I was growing up with her on television.
Yep.
And boy, was she growing up.
She became dangerously busty. And
Yeah.
I feel like I was the only one to notice it when I was younger. You know, that I'm like, you guys, that girl that played Punky Brewster, she's like really hot now. And people are like, what are you talking about? It's Punky Brewster. I'm like, no, bro. Soleil Moon Frye is like she was hiding her power levels.
Yeah.
Like she just grew up into this very busty, extremely, like, she was sultry.
Oh,
she had a sultry look to her that just bedroom eyes and spectacular lips and just
her voice.
Oh, she was just fantastic. So she was, that was another one that was a surprise for me. For me, another one for me was 6 on Blossom.
Oh yeah,
dude. Jenna Von Hoy.
Yeah, I didn't like any girl on Blossom.
Okay.
I loved Blossom.
I liked the show. The show was great.
But I didn't...
But 6, Jenna Von Hoy, she, even before she grew up, because again, we were like around the same age. Like when I was watching the show, you know, Blossom and her friends, and they were all the same age I was when I was watching the show. So I don't even know. I don't even think I was in middle school just yet. Just about to go into middle school, like, sort of area.
1990.
You know,
when Blossom started.
So it was. So with that, like, they put 6 in a lot of skirts, and I was already a booty addict as it was. It looked like half of the outfits that she wore, and check out some of the episodes. They put her in skirts all the time, and in some of the episodes, it looked like she was wearing a bustle. Like, that's how far out the back of the skirt went. To the point where they had to, like, you know, make her wear, like, you know, the layered look. It's like, let's put 2 petticoats and another skirt on her. Because the booty was so fat. It was a dope booty. And then she started, then she got older and started posing in, like, all of these, like, hip-hop magazines.
Oh,
like
really?
King magazine and, like, all this other stuff. So she started doing all these shots in, like, booty shorts and thongs and all this other crazy stuff, and I lost my shit. I absolutely lost my shit. I was like, there's no way. It's 6. Oh my God, this is crazy. But 80s, small wonder, dude.
Oh yeah, you liked Vicky?
Yeah, I liked Vicky. I thought Vicky was smoking when I was a kid. I thought she was so hot. I wanted her to be my robot girlfriend. I just thought she was just the hottest. Like, I just thought she was cute as heck, and I wanted to date her. Possibly in robot form. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, so, you know, Soleil Moon Frye, I thought she was a cutie when she was Punky, and we were the same age, and the more that I saw her, and as she was growing, and as I was growing, I was growing more and more. Watching her grow, and, you know, yeah, she was one of them, for sure. Now we're going to go into some sitcom ladies that I really enjoyed. So I was an avid watcher of The Facts of Life.
Okay.
And Family Ties.
Same.
And on Family Ties, I had a weird sort of crush on Meredith Baxter.
Really?
A little bit.
She was a very good looking woman, so.
Yeah, but
I get it.
But man, did I think
Justine Bateman. Oh my God.
Was so hot.
She's on my list as well. She's definitely on my list.
I thought she was just
amazing.
So pretty, so cute,
so dreamy.
I loved her character.
Yeah, she was just super, super dreamy. She was just so pretty.
Those eyes.
And the smile and her lips, like,
just everything.
Just forget about it. Just forget about it. She was fantastic, absolutely beautiful. And then Was it... What was that other, like, family show? It wasn't Growing Pains. But it was another family that... It was the one that Kirk Cameron was on.
That's Growing Pains.
Is that Growing Pains?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maggie Seaver?
Maggie Seaver.
The mom was...
Wait, like, I was... Wait, who's the daughter?
Tracy Gold.
Tracy Gold. I had to think for her for a second.
Cute. I thought she was really cute.
Okay, there was one specific episode where she was supposed to... She didn't want her wearing this dress to the prom or something like that.
I remember the episode.
And it pushed her boobs up to her freaking neck.
Yeah.
And she was like, this dress is fine. I can barely raise my arms. Oop. And her boobs, like, practically blew out of this corset thing she was wearing. And I didn't realize... I thought she was hot until that episode. I was like, wow. It's another case where she's hiding her power level. I didn't realize your power level. I swear on my field teacher, your power level now. Yeah, and from that point forward, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. You know, how shallow, but I mean, it's like still like, you know.
Well, it's something, it's like, you know, you see them one way.
Right.
And then they're allowed to be this way, and you're like, oh my gosh.
It changes everything.
You are a woman.
Yeah. So that's another one that got me. Like, you know, got me pretty hard.
So, the Facts of Life girls, I had something for all of them.
In their own ways?
All 4 girls, yep.
I had a thing for Joe.
All of them. I just thought... You know, and that's a show, there's something about all of them that I really gravitated towards. To this day, I still do.
Right. So you just had a little harem.
Because it's an unabashed, I love this show. I love Facts of Life.
Right.
And there was something about each one of them that really, like, got this little kid going.
They all brought something different to the table.
Yes. And comedy-wise, because again, I was also very attracted to very funny women. Mm-hmm. So, on top of the looks and the growing of the female form for a lot of these girls, mm-hmm. certainly Tootie, but the comedy of Natalie and Blair, in addition to the cuteness of Natalie and the hotness of Blair,
right?
Those two stood out for me over the other two, because of the comedy that they were doing. Blair was allowed to do a lot of physical comedy,
right?
And you know, Natalie had the sarcasm, the cheap shots, you know,
right.
the 1-2, you know, I don't know. So I loved something about all of them, and I think as a little boy growing up and seeing these women being that way, it really formed... I also was growing up in a house that was predominantly women.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's another thing, is that both of us grew up like that. Like, both of us grew up in, like, houses that were predominantly women. Like, because I was raised for the first half of my life, I was raised by my mom and my sister. So I had a mom and a sister. Like, so the feminine energy in the house was a thing.
Yeah.
You know, most definitely.
My great aunt, my great grandmother, and my grandmother.
Right.
Then my mom was right there too. So it was all like, I don't know, I really like those women and Facts of Life and things like that. I was seeing something different, and I think that informed me growing up.
Right.
You know, like being like, I love strong women. I love, you know, funny women. I love women of authority. I love, like, you know, women who aren't fucking pushovers and damsels in distress.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like that with fucking Princess Leia, you know, Carrie Fisher, who I just thought was beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
God. I was convinced I was going to marry Carrie Fisher.
But
I was like, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to marry her.
Yeah,
that's the way it's going to work.
She's on my list.
That makes sense.
Carrie Fisher, just Star Wars, being a Star Wars nut, but she was everybody's princess,
Yeah,
and
easily.
But she wasn't a damsel, She was fucking tough.
Yep.
She made fun of the boys, like yep. She could handle herself. That was appealing.
She didn't really need saving.
Yeah.
And when she needed help, she didn't just sort of let everybody take over. It's like, thank goodness you're here. I don't have to worry about anything anymore because. Thank goodness you're here to save me, because otherwise nothing would have happened. If she does need a little bit of help, she doesn't just sort of take the back seat. Like, she still helps while being helped, instead of like, carry me away from all of the trouble. She's like, no, let's tear this place up. Like, let's fuck shit up. Like, okay, now's my chance. I'm gonna choke out Jabba the Hutt. Like, she wasn't messing around.
Boy. So, all right. I also now we're gonna go into like movies and stuff like that. As far as the women that really caught my eye, and to this day, I still think are just beautiful creatures, beautiful creatures,
beautiful women.
One of them is Elizabeth Shue. The Karate Kid, knocked me out. I just thought she was so damn cute.
Okay.
So cute. And I find her very attractive to this day.
Mm.
Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
I thought was just... oh my goodness. And Drew is our age. I always thought of her older just because of the shit that she's been through in her life.
Right.
But then when I saw her age, I was like, oh, she's our age. It's like, holy shit, she's been through a lot of shit. Damn.
She has been through quite a bit.
She grew up when she was, 5 years old.
Yeah, dude.
She was a 20-year-old when she was 5.
Yeah, she really was.
But, I mean, I always thought she was super cute. And then as she got older, I thought she was hot, and then super sexy because she was really exploring her femininity. And
she did a Playboy shoot too, didn't she?
Oh yeah. Drew was a free spirit.
She was
for a while.
She was. She flashed David Letterman.
Yeah.
Come on.
I just thought, man, she was hot, and then. In those Charlie's Angels movies, I was like, oh my God, Drew Barrymore. Drew, you're hurting me.
Oh, that's great.
You're bringing it back, girl.
That's great.
Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, God.
Hurt me.
Oh, God.
Hurt me real bad.
God, especially just Labyrinth and Career Opportunities.
Career Opportunities
was just ridiculous.
I can't tell you how much I jacked off to her in Career Opportunities.
It's the mechanical horse scene.
Oh my God!
Just forget about it.
She
was wearing this white beater. Yeah, she was wearing this white tank top through the whole goddamn movie, and she was merciless in that movie.
Yeah,
merciless.
The eyes, the lips.
Just stop it.
Everything. The
Come
way
on.
she was looking at it.
We get it. We get it. You're ridiculously. It's supernaturally gorgeous.
She was milking the scenes, and she was milking men through the screen.
Ridiculous. That was on my regular rental rotation.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that funny a movie. It was okay, but I watched it for Jennifer Connelly. Like everybody, let's face it, everybody watches that movie for Jennifer Connelly.
John Hughes wrote it. I think it's funny. I think it's funny.
It's one of his weaker submissions.
For sure. But I do actually enjoy the film, and I wish it was on Blu-ray because I would.
I'm surprised it's not.
I know. For her alone.
Yeah.
For the
It's funny how perception changes because when I, the millions of times I watched Career Opportunities, I thought that her boobs were like the size of her torso. For some reason, my overly horny adolescent mind.
I mean, she had big boobs. It was one of those moments where, oh, Jennifer Connelly is so pretty in Labyrinth. She's
beautiful.
so pretty.
So pretty.
And then you suddenly see her as a woman in Korea, and you're like, holy shit! Where did those come from?
Where did those come from? Where were you hiding those?
She was a sex pot.
Just an absolute bombshell in that movie. It was ridiculous. I wasn't ready. I don't think anybody was ready. Yeah. I wasn't. It was ridiculous. Yeah, Jennifer, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's definitely... Cynthia Rothrock.
Ooh.
Cynthia Rothrock was a martial artist. She did a bunch of martial arts movies.
Yeah.
When the karate thing was super hot in the 80s, okay?
She was like the female Jackie Chan.
She was the female Jackie. And she shot movies with Jackie Chan. She shot movies with a bunch of other martial arts people. And she went from, sort of starring in a few of them to having her own features. And she was like 5'0", okay? But she was so thick. Like, she was all hips and thighs and ass and bust. But she was strong. Like, she wasn't like bodybuilder strong,
no.
but she was solid.
Fit. Yeah, she was fit.
And I just thought that she had this little blonde bob haircut thing. I just thought that she was one of the hottest women on the face of the planet. And on top of being one of the hottest women on the face of the planet, she would beat the fuck out of dudes in these action movies. And I thought that made her 10 times hotter. Not only do you have this hot woman who isn't traipsing around, don't get me wrong, I don't mind it when hot women traipsing around in trim bikinis and all that. But she wasn't really that. Don't get me wrong. She had her times where, here's Cynthia Rothrock in a bikini. Check it out. You know what I mean? But that wasn't her selling point. Her selling point was the fact that she was athletic as fuck, and she could beat the fuck out of anybody, just like any of these other action stars. And she was in a bunch of dope movies. Like most of her movies were dope as fuck. They ended up being direct to video or direct to cable, but they were still solid, good movies that I thoroughly enjoyed. The fact that she was insanely hot just sort of added to that. You get to see this insanely hot, thick, strong woman jumping all over the place and doing acrobatics and beating the fuck out of these thugs. It was awesome. I adored her. I was all about her for a second. She's another one that just sort of dropped off the face of the planet. She was kind of like, well, I'm just going to...
She still does stuff. Woman. She does these, straight to VOD action movies here and there.
Okay, well, good.
She's still out there.
Good.
Another one that, for me, it was a 1-2 punch. It was Legend and then Ferris Bueller, but Mia Sara.
Oh, yeah.
Again, she's...
beautiful.
Just beautiful.
So pretty.
Just like, oh.
So pretty.
Everything up
the
here
lips, the lips. She gives face for days.
Yeah.
She just gives face for days. Like, just the lips and the eyeballs. It's just ridiculous. And all that hair.
Kind of along the same lines. I was... certainly the movies that I was enjoying growing up in the 80s, the genre that I loved. I was seeing this girl pop up all over the place, but Sherilyn Fenn.
Oh, God. Yes, Sherilyn Fenn.
She was like sex on two legs to me.
Two Moon Junction.
I just think she's
Two Moon Junction changed my life. Two Moon Junction, and then, what was it, Meridian?
Meridian. But she's in Thrashin'. She's in The Wraith. In The Wraith, she gets topless.
That's right.
But she just was so fucking hot.
She was another one that was like you can't believe.
Smoldering.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like, how is this human exist?
Yeah.
How is this happening? She was just one of those mind-blowingly, unrealistically hot women that was just, she had the freaking... beauty mark above her lip and everything, and just these eyes and lips and everything that was just ridiculous. It was silly. She was dumb good looking.
I also had a thing for Winona Ryder.
Oh, yeah.
And
Dracula.
That was also a thing where, okay, here's this teenage girl. She's really pretty, but the more roles that she was doing, the more she was revealing her entire body. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my goodness, she's got some curves on her.
Dracula is what did it for me. Dracula is the movie that did it for me. That's the one that, because they had her in bustiers and freaking corsetry and all this other stuff, and I was like, I can't believe I went to go see it with my buddy Vince. And I already had a thing for Winona Ryder. Like, I had a thing for Winona Ryder. You know, like Beetlejuice sold it for me. Yeah. But after seeing Dracula, like, I kept leaning over being like, what did you... When did that happen?
Yeah.
Whose are those? Who did she borrow those from? Where'd she get those things? Like, so that messed me up real good. Messed me up, but real good. In the best type of way. Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I thought I didn't put her on the list because I think she got hotter later. And I thought she was hot because I loved Weird Science.
Right.
But she didn't do it for me. I'll say that my favorite look of her in Weird Science is when they go to the bar.
Yes.
And her hair is up and it's done in that weird thing.
Oh,
she's wearing that purple.
She's like proper.
Thing.
Like proper out on the town
look. Her lips, everything was just like that. I was like, oh my goodness. But I've seen her age. Right. And she ages. She aged well.
I think she aged spectacularly, but Weird Science, Weird Science, you know, sold me, but it was the "Don't Hate Me Because I'm Beautiful" campaign. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Yeah. I was like, girl, I won't. I will not. It was that campaign. Every time those lips came on television for an ad, was it Maybelline?
Yeah, she had some insane...
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Yes. Every time I saw those lips say that, I would absolutely melt. And that's what drove it home for me. Like, everything she's been in since, she just keeps, you know, she just got hotter and hotter. She's a mind-blowingly good-looking woman.
Very good-looking.
But I'm telling you, it's the "Don't Hate Me Because I'm Beautiful" campaign. That pulled me in. Everybody was sold on Weird Science, and so was I. But it was the ad campaign that got me, like it super pulled me in. Like, that's when I became a super hardcore, like, Kelly LeBrock fan. Like, it was ridiculous. And then she was in some... Then she decided to marry Steven Seagal, which really, like, bothered me. It really bothered me. And then she was in some movie with him where she got, like, you know, topless or something and had to make out with him and do some horrible semi-love scene. And it was just the worst thing in the world, and it ruined so much. Yeah. And, oh, God.
I've never liked Steven Seagal.
Oh, my God.
Never.
Seeing him have just oh, God. It was bad. The only movie with him in it that was worth watching is Under Siege? And that's only for the birthday cake scene.
I just don't like him. I've never liked him. I was always like, who the fuck is this guy?
He's a dipshit. He's a dipshit. Watch Under Siege for the, what is it? She's a Playboy model. She popped out of a cake.
Is it Erica?
Erica Eleniak?
Yeah, I think that's her.
Oh, that movie's worth it for that scene alone.
She was cute too.
She was spectacular. And one of several girls that also appeared on sitcoms at some point.
Oh yeah.
Like, she was on a few sitcoms for a second. Yeah,
was also doing that shit. I was really into Janet Jackson and Tiffany.
Tiffany, yes. I thought Tiffany was like smoldering hot. I liked LaToya over Janet.
Oh, I like Tiffany. Janet, because she just, to me, she was so cute.
Yes, she was super cute. Super cute. I think I liked LaToya because of the fact that she was over the top sexy. She was selling the sex.
Well, Janet
from the get-go.
Got there.
Yeah, Janet got there later, but up until that point, like, LaToya was the sexy one.
Like, I wanted Janet.
Janet was the sort of wholesome, cute one.
On different strokes, like, all the time.
Yeah.
She wasn't. Cute. She only showed up here and there.
So cute.
But she was just so freaking cute. And then, you know, fucking Nasty Boys, the video came out, and I was like, ooh.
What?
Janet Jackson? Look at that big ass hair! Like, I was all about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then she just progressively got sexier as
she did.
Time went on.
She did. I think she came into her own too. She got more and more sexy as she came into her own.
For sure.
When people weren't telling her what to do, and when she was sort of breaking free of a bunch of stereotypes and sort of not afraid to show that she could be that women could be sexual and own their sexuality. and that just makes it 10 times hotter anyway. So whereas with LaToya always had sort of a good attitude about sensuality and sort of sold herself as like a sensual performer, and she posed in Playboy like 3, 4, 5, 57 times. So that was another thing that I'm kind of like, well, she's bringing the goods and she's delivering, so I appreciate that. Because who needs imagination? Like, I wanted to see, once I saw the goods for real, I was like, I want to see for real. I'm tired of imagining things. Where's the magazine?
Yeah, so with Tiffany, I, out of the two, warring females at the time, Debbie Gibson and Tiffany won.
Oh, Tiffany,
in
come
spades.
on.
But I felt,
come on, dude.
I felt that like Debbie had.
She was a Mary Sue.
The better.
PR team
for sure, because she was killing it.
She was
music wise. You know what I mean?
She was an idol. She was everywhere. Everywhere.
But Tiffany was so sexy to me. Her voice, the hair,
sultry.
her face.
Again, she got a sultry.
Then of course she got certainly better as she aged, and then she, later in life she did the Playboy thing, and that was incredible.
I'm learning about all of these Playboy pictorials that I did not know about.
Yeah, it's quite. It's Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
And now she's thick.
Yeah, I know.
Tiffany
it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's funny because, there are all these women that I grew up with. I grew up watching these women. We are around the same age. And there are so many tropes and stereotypes where they're like, it's like, well, your looks are only going to go downhill from there, and once women stop being pretty, there's really nothing that they can offer. Which is, bullshit. But the thing about these women that I grew up watching is that they only got hotter as they got older, as they had kids, as they got married and experienced life. So now it's like, wow, she's really let herself go. I'm like, I know. Like, she's gained a lot of weight. I'm like, I know she has. And she's gained it in all the right places, and she goes fantastic. I will still rub the belly and love the belly and the thighs and the hips, and that's fine. Girl, eat. Please. I will feed you. It's cool. I don't have a problem with your age or your weight.
Yeah.
Have a seat right here.
Yeah.
Have a seat right
here. So this one is interesting. I did have a thing for Madonna.
I had a thing for Madonna too. Sure. Everybody had a thing for Madonna.
But I have to say that as time went on with Madonna, I kind of lost that.
Yeah.
But so my Madonna crush is 80s Madonna.
Yes. She was in her prime.
She was
a supernatural entity in the 80s.
Oh my goodness. And I think it really solidified when she put out the Material Girl video.
Oh yeah.
I was just like,
really
oh my fucking God.
That's a really good one.
Madonna is so...
See, Just Like a Prayer did it for me too. Because
she's hot in that.
There's something about like that dress.
Oh.
Okay, she was very
bustier,
very bustier in that, and she had like dark curly hair in that. Like she had this like alabaster skin and like glowing white cleavage, and just black hair, black curly bouncy hair, and it was just crazy. The Vogue video fucked me up too because she was wearing that mesh lace top
you're like
thing. I'm like, is she?
I'm seeing boobs. Am I seeing boobs?
Well, is that areola or is that a shadow? I don't know what's going on. So and of course, Material Girl was spectacular too because she did the whole Marilyn Monroe spoof and everything, and just to see her in that getup doing those things was just fantastic. She was a force to be reckoned with for sure.
Yeah.
Easily.
Another girl that I kind of had a crush on, and It was more late 80s and it went into the 90s, but Amy Dolenz. I don't know if you know Amy Dolenz, but
what was she in?
She's super hot. She was on like tons of shows.
I got.
But she did like a lot of like movies.
Okay. She's not Mickey Dolenz' daughter.
She is.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she's Mickey Dolenz' daughter. But Amy Dolenz was super hot.
Amy Dolenz. Why do I not recognize her?
And I had a real crush on her.
Okay, I can see why.
And,
wow.
She was super busty.
Wow, she's packing. I didn't realize she was packing.
Oh yeah, she was.
Look at that.
Busty.
I don't really recognize her from anything. Yeah, I can't say I recognize her.
The biggest thing she had in the 80s, she did a movie called She's Out of Control.
Okay.
That I just thought was so great, mostly because of her.
Oh wow! Okay.
But it's her and Tony Danza. Tony Danza's her dad in it.
Angela.
Yeah, and she goes a little wild.
Okay.
But she did a lot of TV. She was like people's girlfriends. You know, she was on like sitcoms and stuff like that.
Right.
And I just was like, who is this divine angel? You know. And as she started doing more movies in the 90s, she did a lot of horror.
Okay.
So in those horror movies, she was really getting scantily clad, and she was being the final girl and all this stuff.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh my goodness.
All right, sure.
Amy Dolenz, my God.
Yeah, that's a more. She's more in the cut. Like I'm not familiar. I'm not as familiar with her. Phoebe Cates.
I thought Phoebe Cates was very hot, but I didn't have those urges.
I'm not even talking Fast Times, okay?
Because
everybody,
a thing for me.
You know, everybody is like, oh man, that scene from Fast Times. That's the thing. Like that wasn't even the first. The first thing I saw Phoebe Cates in was Gremlins.
Me too.
And that's where I fell in love with her. I didn't have to see any of her body. It was just all of that hair and that pouty, perfect little rosebud mouth of hers and those deep, gorgeous, beautiful, freaking giant eyeballs. I absolutely fell in love with her from the get-go. Like Phoebe Cates in a cable knit sweater. I mean, just she was perfection to me.
Super, super cute. Hot.
Just so pretty, like I wanted to kind of girl I want to take home to mom. Be like, Mom, this is Phoebe. She's sweet and she's wholesome, and we're gonna be over here having glasses of milk. It's gonna be wonderful. You know, and then I saw Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and it kind of fucked me up because I was like, that's not she would never do that. Not my Phoebe. She wouldn't do that.
Who does how?
She is extremely wholesome and would never. Why is she in slow motion? Wait, she's gonna. Oh my God! I can't believe it! It's just. So part of me was. How?
Shocked. Yeah.
Oh, Phoebe, no. That's for me and you. That's for us. That's for me. No, don't show everyone. Like it was some secret. Like I'm like, I hope nobody else sees this. I hope nobody else sees this movie. Because they're going to realize that Phoebe Cates shows her boobies. So, but yeah, Gremlins sold it for me. I just thought she was the dreamiest, most prettiest girl in the world. And wanted to marry her. And bring her home to my parents.
And so my last, on this list, my last 80s crush. Is Susan Sarandon.
Oh, wow. Yeah, come on.
And she is one of those ones that has continued.
Yeah.
Like, I just think she is a beautiful woman.
Very good looking.
Beautiful woman.
Yes.
And
sexy. Just
super
timelessly
sexy.
Timelessly sexy.
Her curves and her boobs just got growing. Boobies just kept going up.
She was fantastic.
And her daughter is insanely hot.
I didn't even know she had a daughter, so.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to have to.
And her daughter is Super busty.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It runs in the family.
I'm here for it.
And yeah, it's not like, listen, so when I was growing up in the 80s, I certainly didn't watch Susan Sarandon movies.
No.
You know what I mean, it wasn't my...
Well, I mean, I saw Rocky Horror. Yeah, Rocky Horror I saw in the 80s.
And then probably 88, when it came on video, I saw Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought she was hot. But I had seen her, you know what I mean? Like, growing up, I was just like, this girl, this woman, you know.
That's a woman.
Was insane.
That's a woman.
And it just kept going as I got older. I was just like, this is just, she
didn't stop being hot.
Yeah, like, she got hotter as she went along.
Yeah.
And,
kind of like Gina Davis. Gina Davis is another one.
Gina Davis was really freaking cute.
Super,
super
like
cute.
Transylvania 5000. My dude. Like, if you haven't seen Transylvania 5000, watch it.
I think
watch
Girls Are Easy.
Earth Girls Are Easy is great, but if you want to see her very scant, the outfit with the, oh my god, she's just 8 feet tall and hair and eyes and lips and just, she was just absolutely spectacular. She's still absolutely fucking stunning. To this day, Gina Davis, like, forget about it. Like, I'd still be like, here. Like, her and Bernadette Peters, timeless. Bernadette Peters is one of the most low-key, smolderingly hot women on the face of the planet. Forget about it. She could sing. She could dance. She could play the trumpet. She's fucking hilarious. Yeah. And she's abso-fucking-lutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Timeless beauty.
Her and the Jerk is super sexy.
So pretty. Like, just, come on.
Voice,
come on.
She's doing,
oh my god. And she's another one that was, like, low-key thick. Like you didn't realize until the angle hit her just right. And she's wearing just the right outfit. And you're like, god damn, where'd those come from? What are you doing?
So when we all went out to Sundance in 2009, we saw Susan Sarandon, and we saw her from where that door is,
close,
and us sitting right here. And Casey and I kind of lost our shit, and we were so stunned by her beauty, we didn't move. We did not move. Yeah, everyone, like Meredith and Jesse, who was with us, like, go up. And I talked to her, and we're just like,
what do you say though?
I know, we just could not move. We couldn't move. We watched her. It was like slow motion. We were
You're nice.
Like, oh my god, you know.
You're nice. You're real nice. You're so nice.
So in real life, folks, in the flesh. Oh my goodness! It was just like,
what do you even do
oh
then?
My god, she just looks like.
What do you even do then?
Yeah.
I think another one for me is Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Sigourney's really pretty.
I thought Sigourney Weaver. I thought I watched Alien when I was much too young.
I think most of us did.
To watch Alien.
Growing up in the 80s.
Then it traumatized me a little bit, but also sort of like Alien. The Alien franchise is arguably like my favorite movie franchise ever. Always will be. Like if it has to do with aliens, give it to me. I'll take it. But Sigourney Weaver in Alien, of course, specifically when she's at the end of the movie, when she's just in her underwears. And she's slipping into a spacesuit, getting ready to shoot it out of the freaking narcissist. I'm telling you, it did things to me. And then afterwards, when I saw her in Ghostbusters, and she was wearing the flowy outfit and the huge hair and the highlight along the cheekbones, forget about it.
Yeah, she's super hot.
Forget about it. I thought that she was spectacularly gorgeous in that movie. She destroyed me in that movie.
She's still really pretty.
Messed me up. Yeah, she could still get it. I'd be like, would you like some? She'd be like, ew, no. I'd be like, all right, cool, that's understandable. I still think that she's ridiculously good looking. And was like shockingly hot in Galaxy Quest.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like crazy hot. All right, now I've got some B-listers.
Okay.
Okay. I got some B-sides.
See, I do have B-listers, but
I got B-sides.
It goes
here.
more into the '90s for me. So
That's fine. That's fine. Now, first girl on my B-list is Young MC. Okay, just bust a move. It's the "You Want It, You Got It" girl, the one in the yellow. Telling Young MC,
I'd have to watch it again.
Young MC, just bust a move. She's just all lips and like light skinned, and she's got the mole, and she's just all boobs. She has a sort of like Snow White haircut thing going on, but she's just all boobs. She's all "You want it, you got it, you want it, baby, you got it." And I don't know who she is. I've tried to find out who she is. I don't know who she is, but could you call me? If you see this, could you call me? Because I was in love with you. That was one of the only reasons I watched the video. I'd be like, oh, it's just busted. Okay, it's an alright jam. It kind of slaps good. Alright, fine. I watched that video for that woman.
Yeah.
I thought that she was just amazing. I'm amazed that I never saw her again in anything. And to this day, every now and then, I'll sit down in front of the Google. I'll be like, "Girlfriend bust a move video. Who were you? Where have you gone?" So that's one that she's a mystery girl that I'll always love. Okay. Solid Gold Dancers.
Do you have specific ones or just the Solid Gold Dancers?
The Solid Gold Dancers as an entity.
Yeah.
We're always crazy. If you wanted to see like uninterrupted thongs all over TV, they made it a point. There was a move that they did where they waved their hands in front of their shaking asses. It was the wave your hands in front of your shaking ass move. And they were just kind of like, look at our thongs. Check out our thongs. I mean, everyone was wearing like leggings, but they wore the thongs over the leggings. And I think that's what really matters. They're wearing like pantyhose with thongs, with like bathing suits over them. Like it was just the fashion was extra. It was a lot of look, but no pun intended. It was spectacular. I thought it was a wonderful showing of the physicality. Check out the muscularity. It was quite nice. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
So that kind of reminded me of like, I used to think Lisa was super hot.
Lisa was super hot.
You know, and she was thick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
I consider her like a very smoldering, sexy sex panther.
Oh,
you know she.
Yes.
I
agree wholeheartedly.
She had the moves.
I agree wholeheartedly.
You know who else I thought was hot, and I consider her, I guess, a one hot wonder, I guess, but Apollonia.
Apollonia was fantastic.
She was super, super hot.
She was fantastic.
And she had the, man, that scene in Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah. Well, I see, it's funny, I had a thing for Wendy and Lisa.
Oh, yeah?
I was all about Wendy and Lisa, especially because they were always, like, on the keyboard with each other, with their hands over each other's hands.
They were so mysterious. They were so mysterious.
I don't know, are they Lebanese? Are they not Lebanese together? Are they like in the men's? Are they like in the women's? Do like the body? I don't know. But they was hot. I thought they was hot as fuck. They were fantastic. But yeah, Apollonia was dangerous. She was dangerously hot. Definitely dangerous. Like Sheena Easton.
I liked Sheena. I think the thing for me with Sheena was I was far more impressed that her drumming skills were on point.
That's Sheila E.
You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Sheena Easton.
Yeah, Sheena Easton. Yeah, Strut. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
Sugar Walls.
Yeah, she was pretty sexy.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Sheila E. could get it too, though. Sheila E. could get it too. Like, yes. Like, she was fantastic. Another sort of B-side is most of the spokesmodels on Star Search. I'm just going to throw a net out. You know what I mean? Let's just throw a wide net, and most of the spokesmodels on Star Search were dope. That was another one that I'm just like, I fell in love every week on Star Search.
I thought Fergie was really cute on Kids Incorporated.
For me, it was Martika was my...
Yeah, lots of people like
Martika was my shit, bro.
I didn't dig it. I dug the...
Plus, when Toy Horses came out...
Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers, yeah.
I dug the high, blonde, crazy ponytail.
Right.
And the jean jacket and all that stuff.
I mean, I get it.
Gloves,
I get it. I was really into tall girls,
Fergie.
though. Like, and I don't know, Martika was tall.
Yeah,
she was tall. She was taller than a lot of the kids on the show.
She was older than all the kids
that's
on the
true.
show.
It did kind of help that she was 30, but like, but she was. But I still have a thing. It's funny. I love extremes. I love it if the girl is like 3 apples high or like 7 feet tall. Like it's the extremes. If she's my height, sure, okay, whatever. A little shorter, a little taller, yeah, it's fine. But if I'm looking either down or if I'm looking up, it's a thing for me. I'm kind of like, wow, you're really tall. That's cool. Carry me.
So now, so this is strictly, this is 80s. Because the list would be far greater.
Oh, well, yeah. The 90s, the 90s, like, are a close second to my 80s ladies, easily.
So there's 2 women who really, this is we're going into the porn area right now.
Yeah, we're gonna be going into soft and hard.
Now
core.
these, I only picked 2.
Okay.
And like I said,
it's impressive.
there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There is a lot.
Sure.
And unfortunately, some of their names I can't even remember. I just know their faces.
Okay.
But these 2, I know their name.
I'll bet you. I'll bet you I could guess one of them.
Well, one of them is Celeste.
Oh God, yes, Chris. This is why I love you. This is why I love you, and it's sort of a surprise too because he doesn't like fake boobs.
I don't like fake boobs, but this was one of the first times that I saw a woman who had fake boobs.
They were spectacular.
Real.
They were amazing. Yeah.
And
they looked like Danny's.
And when people, Danny Ash.
She had Danny Ash boobs.
And when people grabbed them, they were like, "Wow, those are soft, gooey boobs."
Yeah.
Like it just looked.
Celeste
real,
she was
and
amazing.
Boy, did it work with her body.
And she was a flash in the pan too.
Oh, I know.
She only did porn for like a year, and then she disappeared.
It was gone, but she was so nasty. You know, like at that time, for me, adolescent, she was the nastiest woman I had ever seen.
Like you used to you saw plenty of porn, but she brought it to a different level that seemed to almost intimidate the dudes that she was doing stuff
she
with.
Was doing how she would handle
she didn't care. She would mess you up. It was ridiculous.
She was just so sexy.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Celeste. You know who I thought you were going to say right off the top? Christy Canyon.
Well, Christy Canyon is the number 1.
Okay, all right, cool. Christy Canyon is on the list for me.
She is my number 1. Like, this girl brought me to my sexual peak. Like, she really she is the reason I think true solidification of me liking curvy, large-boobed women. Natural large boob women.
Christy Canyon's definitely just arguably the greatest of all time, especially in the 80s. But for me, also, a super close second is Lisa DeLove. Lisa DeLove was, she was a freckled, curly red-haired, extremely busty, wide-hipped, thick-thighed milky skinned goddess. She was absolutely crazy. She was insanely sensual and was just dripping sex out of her very pores. And whereas Christy Canyon had sort of a almost demure air about her, Lisa DeLuve was just raw sensuality. She was another one that you could tell the guys that shot scenes with her had a hard time. Like, they had a hard time lasting and keeping up with her because she was just an absolute stick of dynamite. So she's definitely going to be at the top of my list for the 80s, like, porn stars. That and, like, who was the really cute girl that was in all the Emmanuelle movies? I'll always have a thing for her. Again, short hair, cute pixie cut girl with sort of a very sort of subtle and not over the top figure, but the curves that she did have were just beautiful. But yeah, like there were so many Emmanuelle movies. There were these cheesy, overdubbed Cinemax After Dark softcore European movies that were just all kind of the same. It's like, oh, it's Emmanuelle. She's exploring her sensuality and waking up all of the feelings inside that she never knew she had before. You know, so it was always a coming of sensual age type of story with this, oh, I went to France for the summer and oh my God, I am having sex with all of these people.
Yeah, Emmanuelle did this. Emmanuelle did that.
Yeah, Emmanuelle goes to the Orient. You know, Emmanuelle gets lunch. Why are everyone at this cafe having this sex? And it's always some older freaking gross dude that's like, well, Emmanuelle, when you are an adult, people have sex in the cafes all of the time. Really? Maybe I should join them. Maybe you should. That's always what it was. And whereas the concept is really cringy these days, when I was 14, I was like, dude, this is the dream. I gotta go to France. I want to go to an orgy cafe. Dude, if we go to France, did you know they have orgy naked cafe, tit, boob, ass cafes over there? You go to France and people just fuck you. It's crazy. There's this chick named Emmanuelle. She's awakening. Yeah. Let's do it. So that's Emmanuelle. That was some good stuff. I liked the Emmanuelle series.
Yeah.
That sensual European flavor.
So that's all I got, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out. I was deleting them as we were going, and that's all I got. That's all I got. But that's plenty.
Oh yeah, I mean this was this was good. This was.
You guys
thick.
have enough to ruminate on.
This was thick.
You know, go do some Googling. I'm gonna do some Googling because this motherfucker told me about other motherfucking pictorials that I had no clue about. So now I'm gonna have to get my Google on as well because there are several women that I did not know did some posings that I have to look up now.
Filthy 40-something men, enjoying the. The spoils of adolescent, free-natured women.
It used to be different when we were younger. It wasn't. That's the thing too. Like everything's at your fingertips now. Mm. You know, I think one of the reasons that when we got crushes, when we established these crushes when we were young, is that there was a time and a place there was only one time and place that you could see these things. You know what I mean? So you had to wait from week to week to see these women in these movies or these shows. So it wasn't as simple as grabbing my phone and being like Kelly LeBrock. Bam.
Yeah.
I could look at anybody. I could look at as many pictures as I want. Like you couldn't do that. It wasn't instant gratification. You had to go rent the movie, or you had to wait for the show to come on. Or pick up freaking Teen Beat magazine. And put up your freaking poster of Soleil Moon Frye, Yeah. I think that's probably why they made such a deep impact with us, is because of the fact that you were sort of leaked little tastes, when you could get them, and then you could only really enjoy them alone.
It was.
So how often do you get to do that?
It was more special.
Yeah.
It was definitely special.
Yeah.
It was
It was a rare treat.
And that's like that with anything in the 80s. Everything that we were experiencing was just special, and it was new, and it was happening at that time.
And came to us in a trickle. You know, it was we got bits and pieces here and there. It wasn't we couldn't binge a whole series or just watch a bunch of movies in one sitting.
The anticipation was part of the fun.
Yeah, it was, and the fact that it felt finite. So when you did get something, you were so grateful for it, because it wasn't an easily accessible thing, and your access to it was limited. So I think that definitely gave us both a deeper appreciation for the things that we did appreciate and the things that we were really into. So that makes it special.
We gotta go back.
I'm working on it. We'll do it.
And this is a way. This is a way, folks, for all of us to go back, is to reminisce and enjoy and share these memories that we had growing up in the 80s. And who did you have a crush on? I'm sure there's going to be 17 million people who post.
Everyone, post your comment. Comment down below.
Alyssa Milano. You didn't talk about Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Alyssa Milano.
Basic. That's so basic. We get it. Alyssa Milano. Cool. Heather Locklear. What about her? Sure. Fine. Comment down below. Hit like. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Do you want more of this?
Like the kids do these days.
Don't the kids like to like and subscribe things?
But they smash
it.
Yeah, they smash it.
Would you smash that button? Don't hit the bell, though. That's stupid. Nobody hits the bell. You don't want to be a loser, do you? Don't hit the bell.
Oh, we need that bell, bro. We need that bell. How are they going to ever know that a new video drops?
Check YouTube often.
My goodness.
You know what I mean? If you want to hit the bell, go for it. I don't care. Hit like if you want to hit like.
Smash it.
You liked it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, get out of here. We don't like you. We don't need you to subscribe if you don't feel like it. If you're like, nah, I'd rather just fuck off. The rest of you, comment. Who do you want to fuck from the 80s?
That's right.
Who do you want to fuck from? Me and Chris are from the 80s. Do you want to fuck us?
Oh yeah.
That would be nice. We might be obtainable. You never know. You never play your cards right.